Can you hear us, everybody out there? Countless beings far across the cosmos, whether 1 or 100 million parsecs.
Dude, I love it.
You don't know us,
I love it. Do you love it? You hated it, but now you love it.
So in.
You're so in. My new ringtone.
Okay.
Welcome to KonKon's Cantina. Grab a drink, sit back, and relax.
What is up, everybody? It is your boy, it's KonKon, the lead vocalist of Star Waver. Okay? Star Waver. Guys, it is your boy, it's KonKon. And of course, sitting across from me, the man as always, the bionic man himself.
Jay Breezy.
Jay Breezy in the building.
Back for week 2 of Visions.
At it again. Visions. You know what?
Oh, I just picked a zit on my nose and now my nose is bleeding. That's not good.
You'll be alright. You know what, man? I'm gonna call you out, okay? Because, I mean, when you are me, you are right a lot. But what's really nice is not only being right, but then bringing somebody to the side of being right.
Especially when they're right more than you. Like, you get one.
I get one.
Every decade, you get one.
I get one? Okay, I got you. Guys, before we get into the rest of that explanation, thank you very much for clicking on this episode of KonKon's Cantina. This is the 102nd episode of the number one.
From now on, this is the 100th.
Yes.
And 74th.
Yes. Oh, it's happening now. Just wait till we get to 500, dude. Yeah, we'll be dead by then. Anyway, the 102nd episode of the KonKon's Cantina podcast, the number one Star Wars drinking podcast in the galaxy. Come in to the cantina with us, grab a drink. If you're working, well, you know what you do?
Crack a monster.
Yeah, you just drink in your car like a normal person, or you bring a backpack with a shirt.
Bring
that way,
little tiny bottles that are like the travel bottles of.
Yeah, you just
alcohols
you
and beers.
You put Bailey's in a Starbucks cup so that they think you're drinking coffee.
My nose is really bleeding right now.
I don't see anything.
It's like oozing that clear stuff that's after the blood.
It's plasma. You'll be alright. Guys, housekeeping really quick. Bloody nose over here, as always. I am your boy, it's KonKon. And then, of course, this episode is brought to you by our Patreon guys.
Introduce yourself twice, why don't you?
I'll introduce myself a third time. Our Patreon guys at patreon.com/KonKonscantina. There you can find not a lot. I'm not going to lie, but there is some exclusive content there. It really is for support at this point, and we very much appreciate...
We have a lot of plans, but this year's been rough.
Dude,
I've exploded my arms.
You've got COVID.
Massive job changes. My entire family had COVID.
Now, family members are dying for me.
Yes.
Left and right.
2021 is a...
Yeah,
you know what?
It's not good.
Support us.
Yeah, we very much appreciate
Help
it, guys.
us stand.
We do have a $3...
This is the bright moment in our weeks when we have crap going on.
It really is.
And that's why we do it.
Star Wars Visions is really, really helping. And
bringing it back.
And you know what?
Bad Batch did not.
No, it didn't. If you cannot support us on Patreon, completely understand. Please leave us a review. 5 stars is what we seek. It helps with all the algorithms, Google, everything. And wherever you're listening to us, tell us. And if you write a review, make it funny if you can. Make fun of us.
Or hateful. I'm fine with hateful.
Dude, make it super hateful. Just make it 5 stars so that we can read it and laugh with you, because all we do is cut at each other. Let's be honest. I mean, that's really what we do.
As friends do.
The agenda of this episode is we will be talking about episode 2.
And I'll tell everybody why I hate it.
No, you won't.
So I'm taking this episode from the stance of before you and I watched it for another round, and you convinced me. I'm holding fast for this episode to my original notes of pure hatred.
Okay. And then at the end, you're going to be
and then I'll admit everything at the end.
Okay, I got you. We will be talking about episode 2, Tatooine Rhapsody. Don't you love the Rhapsody?
The only Rhapsody that's been good is Bohemian.
I was going to say, it's when you say Rhapsody, you got to think Queen.
Yeah.
That helped for me.
You know what my favorite part about this episode is how unique the planets that we go to are.
Oh my gosh. We haven't even gotten into the recap yet. You know you liked going back to Boonta's Eve. The only thing that was missing was Kitster. The little brown boy.
No.
Did you forget about Kitster?
No.
Whatever happened to him?
He
I love how
died.
Anakin never
Greedo
goes back
him.
and buys his friends. You ever think about that?
Greedo eliminated him.
No, you ever think about that?
Well, Greedo was fine. I mean, he made it out.
That wasn't.
Yeah, it was. Canonically, it was Greedo. They had said it was.
No, the little boy.
It was Greedo. They said it was Greedo in the.
First of all, you said Dorito.
I know.
I
had some tequila.
There is a deleted scene where Anakin is fighting Greedo, but the little Rodinian kid.
No, this was in what's the series called where like you love the Empire Strikes Back novel?
A certain point of view.
Certain point of view of A New Hope's certain point of view. They talk about it, and it is Greedo.
Once again, there is a deleted scene in the Phantom Menace.
Yeah, deleted, as in not in existence.
Oh my god, I'm moving past this. We are a Cantina. I can't with you right now. You love this. You love this episode.
Welcome to KonKon's Cantina. What are you having?
Nose to stop bleeding.
But remember, no droids.
Well, we are recording this episode in sequence. All right, we're always honest with the people. Okay, we're honest with you guys, and so I'm still drinking
transparent
the Rox Terramana Reposado, which is the gold tequila. It is very, very good. Price point is $25. If you are into tequila, if you've never sipped a tequila, I highly recommend it. Pick it up. The Blanco, which is the white, it is good, but there's way more flavor in the Reposado.
I was literally going to ask if he has multiple.
Yeah.
Are there grades? Like, so is there like do they have an añejo? Which is añejo is.
I'm sure he will at some point.
Like it's the same goldish color, but it's like a higher quality.
As of now, he doesn't.
I love this. What's your favorite tequila cocktail? And don't say margarita or something. Like, do you have like a tequila mixed cocktail drink that you like?
Jackrabbit.
Ooh, explain, sir.
Jackrabbit.
And why are we not drinking that for this episode?
Because we don't have the ingredients. But Jackrabbit is extremely delicious.
Okay.
It is tequila. It is bitters. It is simple syrup. It is grapefruit juice and fresh jalapeno.
Jalapeno.
Fresh jalapeno.
So that sounds really good.
It literally has everything. And some people make it different. Some people don't do it with the simple syrup. But I think that it needs it because when you're doing there's so much acidity in there with the tequila and the grapefruit juice that
and the jalapeno.
The simple syrup definitely helps
mellow,
neutral some flavors. But that is my favorite tequila mixer.
Like a Paloma?
Oh yeah, yeah,
Paloma,
like a Paloma too.
Paloma is one of mine that I like. It's not the most unique or anything, but I always like when you see a Paloma.
Tell the people what a Paloma is.
It's tequila. I'm gonna tell you the way one of our listeners makes them for me, and he makes them when we go camping and we do our annual camping trip. Josh Soreo.
Yeah.
He does squirt, tequila, and why am I not even thinking what? I know it's more than squirt and tequila because that would be insanity. I don't even know what else is in it, honestly. I don't make them. I just get them fed to me.
Hey, did you know that you're on a Cantina podcast where we talk about drinks and we're the number one?
It's not a drink I've ever made. I've never made it. Somebody makes it for me. I know that squirt is involved and I know tequila's involved.
I would say I'm disappointed in you,
what's
but I
in
know.
It, then? Tell me what's in it.
I know that you're so used to hearing that.
You literally don't know what's in it either.
Of course I don't know. It's not the drink that I chose when you asked me what is the tequila cocktail you like.
Well,
I chose the Jackrabbit.
I came up with the question out of nowhere. I had no forethought.
Guys, this week we are talking
drinking tequila. Obviously,
we're drinking tequila.
This is a hot mess.
We are talking about episode 2 of Star Wars Vision's Tatooine Rhapsody. Now, just be honest with the people. You really did not like this episode, and so, I'm really excited when me and you don't like things.
Yeah, because it makes it interesting.
Of course, it makes it interesting, and I would say that most of the time, one of us will pull each other to the other side.
I agree 100%.
Yeah.
So this came out on the 22nd.
Yeah.
It also aligned with a very stressful day at work. The first episode came out, and I loved it because it was kind of more aggressive. It was like a fight. It was the duel. So I was like, when you have a crappy, stressful day, like you can still get behind that. This is a very much more fun, lighthearted, and I don't want to say kid animation, but like it was a lighter is the easiest way to describe it. Bright, colorful, nothing super dark and aggressive in it. and I was just having a crappy day, and the last thing I wanted was like pop.
Another
for lack
thing,
of better terms.
Yeah, and another thing about this episode is I think that what's so different between this episode and the first episode is the first episode is Star Wars with touches of modernism. Mm-hmm. This episode is modern with touches of Star Wars.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
One thing that I appreciate about this episode the most, and this episode is actually my second favorite thus far out of the first 3, is one thing that me and you've talked about numerous occasions is there's so much going on in the Star Wars universe that isn't just the main story. And when I watched this for the first time, I told...
regular people doing regular things.
I told Natasha, I was like, if somebody would have said, I'm going to give you a Star Wars anime about a rock band, I would have been like, what? That's so stupid. And when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, this is kind of like everything that I want from Star Wars at this moment. Like, Mandalorian was amazing. That's pure Star Wars. And to see something else, and I think that there's some really good character building and undertones, and I think that this episode influctuated what anime does well and why anime does have a place in entertainment where you can do things in anime and you can't do them in live action, and we're going to get into that. I super enjoy this episode. Song is super catchy. I still see you tapping your foot.
That song slaps me so hard.
It was really good. You ready for this recap?
Let's do it.
All right. Blaster fire rains. A young Padawan falls into a dark alley. He is met by a large, dark figure.
Is this Order 66?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about. We were trying to pin down...
Padawan running for his life.
Yeah.
Troopers shooting at him.
Well... Oh, I guess we could have been able to tell by the blaster fire. We didn't even see what color the bolts were. That would have told us who was firing at him. If they were red, it would have been Separatists. If they were blue, it would have been clones. But the way that the show starts is it's red and blue going back and forth. So it might have just been a battle.
Yeah. So
it's not really clear, but that's actually an undertone for this episode that's very important for the main character, Jay, is we don't know, and there's a reason for that. And I'm going to get into that explanation from what I gathered. Cutting to a rock show, it is the first show, well, one of the first shows of the band Star Waver. On bass, we have the introduction of the band. We have Guy.
Who do we have in this here band?
In this here band.
And what are their galactic instruments?
We have Guy. He is on. Well, did you write down? I just wrote bass. Did you write down the?
No, I didn't write down the weird names.
They had
gave them.
Yeah, they had weird names. But bass, we have Guy, which is the hut.
And which I didn't realize was a hut until almost the end of the episode.
It's the eyes being really close together. He reminded me of and his name's escaping me because I'm trying to think of it.
The little one that was in that episode of Rebels where they had to save the hut.
Oh, Stinky? No, that's not Rebels. That's Clone Wars. But no, not Stinky. No, he reminded me of Grand Kai from Dragon Ball Z. Goku.
I can see that.
You see?
Yeah.
Right?
I can see that.
Now you 100%. Like it even more. He reminded me of Grand Kai from Dragon Ball Z, but then we have the cluster drums. So I did write one down. The cluster drums,
which is a new species that we've never seen
before. And you know what? I think this is something that can be said. I'm a musician of about 20 years now, and I'm a drummer, and I really loved seeing modern representation of music and not just the jizz band in Star Wars. That was a big part for me.
A different genre of music. And like the jizz band plays literally like what you would call like jizz, jazz, whatever. Yeah. Like vibing.
It's jazz. Yeah.
Like it's like vibe music, background music. This was in the same universe, a completely genre switch where it's like rock. Pop.
And we're going to get to it. I love how these guys go from playing small venues to literally an arena show.
Okay.
Back to the recap. We have Lan on cluster drums. Then we have the dual guitar, which is a droid, which is Kurti. Vocals.
I'm gonna pick apart their dual guitar. That dumb droid literally can only play one part of the dual guitar at a time. Worthless instrument.
The droid needed 4 arms, not 2. Yeah,
yes,
I agree.
Play the dual guitar, you need more arms.
I agree. And then, of course, we have the main character, Jay, who is on vocals.
Voiced by none other...
This was cool.
...than Joseph Gordon-Levitt. One of my favorite underground... Like, I would call him underground nowadays because of all the projects that he does.
Yeah.
Like, if you've never watched Just Hit Record, it's one of the coolest shows ever. Have you ever watched that? So Just Hit Record is a show that he spearheads where it's all like crowdsourcing projects.
Like,
so they'll
explain that a little further.
They'll get like he'll just put out a request. He does it a lot on Facebook and Twitter. Like he'll put out a request like, here's an image, give me an entire story in 4 words.
Oh.
And he does stuff like that, and they take all of these people.
So he's not creative. I'm just kidding.
No, it's on. It's on Netflix. They didn't. I think they only had 1 or 2 seasons, but he still does it because it's its own website and it's its own thing.
Yeah.
But it's a super cool. Like he's a really creative guy. He's a musician. He's a actor. He does a lot of cool stuff. So it's cool to see him kind of almost doing the same vibe in the Star Wars universe.
What did you think of now that you know that it's Joseph and you see Jay, the young Padawan?
I see what they did there.
Joseph J. Do you think that? Did you like the character design? The blue hair.
Character design. I was fine with the blue hair.
Yeah,
I was definitely fine. I liked how they showed also the change in Jedi version was like the short hair with the long Padawan braid to then being grown out and kind of like punk rock style.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. During this show, Boba Fett shows up, voiced by none other,
our boy
Tamora Morrison.
In
my dude's cashing out right now, dude.
And I love that he developed in The Mandalorian Season 2 Boba Fett's voice. Like, we never had that before. And he has a super specific way of his cadence and the way he delivers lines. Totally different than any clone. Totally different than a clone trooper, than Rex, than Fives, than anybody that you've seen. Like, he has a way of speaking that is immediately known that it's Boba Fett.
Tell me, this is my train of thought on exactly what you just said. If you listen to how, and the voice actor, I don't know, did Jeremy do the voice and be in the suit for Boba Fett in Empire and Return of the Jedi? Well, he has no voice in Return of the Jedi, but he has lines in Empire.
He screams.
He does scream. But
falls into the Sarlacc pit like a wuss.
You know, in Empire, you know, he has multiple lines. You know, he's no good to me dead. What if he doesn't survive? And the way that the fluctuation is done, do you think Tamoris took inspiration from that? Because to me, they sound. You know,
I definitely think he took some inspiration from that, as well as all the other clone work that he did, and kind of amalgamized them together.
Because him as Jango,
it's a big word I just used. So amalgamize.
Hey, I can't spell it. him as Jango and him as Boba are 2 totally different things.
Yeah.
And they're very distinguishable, and I think that's awesome.
All of the clones have unique voices too.
Yeah,
like there's
that's Bradley D. Baker.
What?
That's Bradley D. Baker that does the.
Well, yes, but they're Tamora.
Oh,
you know what I'm
I get what you're
saying?
saying. Okay,
like,
I thought you thought that was Tamora.
No, I'm saying like how you can tell.
Yes,
they're all supposed to be the same voice, and they're doing
it's personality stuff.
Yeah,
you know, it's all personality. Even twins won't sound the same. You know, I think of Logan and Dylan, like they don't sound the same. You know, I think that has to go into personality stuff. But
one drives Volkswagens, the other doesn't.
Yeah, exactly. Boba crashes the show, claiming that he has business with the Slug. Yet another bounty. Our boy at it again. The entire band goes into attack mode, which I actually liked. I thought that was interesting.
Straight up flame blasts him.
Dude, my guy getting hit with the flamethrower, you know.
I was like, that's a taste of your own medicine, right?
Ironic. Yeah.
Like,
the
flamethrower gets blasted by flame.
The band gets away for now. This is their 3rd gig that has been interrupted. These poor guys,
They've only played 3 shows.
Yeah, 3rd. Yeah. It's just 3. They
never finished a single one.
Do you think they're all getting interrupted because of
being hunted for some reason?
Fergie?
I feel like that definitely has to be the case because they were too prepared for it.
And I think the Hutts in Star Wars canon that we know is known for having very high-paying bounties. You know, working for the Hutt Syndicate is a big deal. Of course, they are hunted down by Boba Fett. Their ship falls under attack by Boba Fett and the Slave One. You're not getting us
one of
Disney.
The coolest. Before you even get to the Slave One, the coolest, my favorite scene of this entire episode is the scene of Boba Fett rising on his jetpack and just kind of hovering as the ship flies away.
Yeah, that was cool.
Okay, that was cool.
That was cool. Did you like the super anime of him flying underneath the tarp, like trying to get away as they're? I thought that was sick too.
Yeah,
I thought that was really good.
Boba Fett's starship, or the fire spray.
Don't bring it up. It is the Slave One. And then we have, quote, I got a bad feeling about this. Putting possibly the most Star Wars trademark on this episode.
Well, we skipped the part where the dumb kid Padawan never activated his lightsaber since he
No,
fell.
we haven't gotten there.
Oh, we
yet.
haven't gotten that far?
We haven't gotten that.
I thought that was
Slow
after.
your roll.
I'm
Slow
sorry.
your roll there, Chief. Slow your roll.
Fix this in post.
Okay. I got a bad feeling about this, says Jay. Then the Star Waver's ship is shot down by Boba Fett.
Yeah.
Boba Fett walks on to their ship and explains that Guy is marked for execution. Guy then, of course, explains that he doesn't want anything to do with the Hutt life. He doesn't want to be part of the Syndicate.
Yes.
It's boring. He wants to be a rock star. That's all he wants.
Well,
He's
got a nose ring.
come on. Yeah, he's finding his way through the galaxy, okay? As
Then-
Boba Fett walks out with Guy, Jay stands up and pulls out his lightsaber. Quote, "Do you really want to do this?" End quote. He then ignites his lightsaber, but it doesn't ignite.
Who has a lightsaber and doesn't turn it on?
All right, here we go. This is the underlying story that I loved.
Setting you up for this.
Thank you, I appreciate that. This is the underlying story that I love in this episode.
I hate this episode.
You love this episode.
No,
We
I
have
told
this.
you I'm holding fast.
We have this young Padawan who falls and his lightsaber breaks, and it reminds me of like
Number one rule of Jedi: don't lose the lightsaber.
This weapon is your life, right? It reminds me of Attack of the Clones and
Yeah.
everything with Anakin and Obi-Wan. And we have this Padawan who, it feels like he never fit in as a Jedi. He might have just been a Force-sensitive kid that was taken by the Jedi Council, taken away from his family, wherever he comes from, you know.
And if on that same train of path, look at the lyrics.
Train of Path. That's how we're saying
Yeah.
it from now on.
That is it.
Yep.
Look at the lyrics for the song at the end.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, and exactly. We'll get to that. So we see Jay is clearly uncomfortable. Train of Path. This Train of Path, he's uncomfortable being a Jedi. The lightsaber is a reminder of his path.
I gotcha.
It's a reminder of his past that he doesn't want to revisit. He obviously doesn't love his time as a Jedi. He didn't go back.
Yeah.
You know? So he never activates his lightsaber because that might be associated to bad memories.
But
Yes.
in reality,
Yes, really stupid. Come on, dude. Turn it on sometimes.
I would swing that thing crazy.
Cutting bread.
Oh, yeah.
Getting through doors, toasting stuff. Like, come on. But, so he never turns it on. I love that this person that Jay was as a Jedi comes out to face Boba, right? It's his courage. Mm-hmm. The courage comes forth, and then it's immediately gone. It's like a candle being blown out.
Yeah, and
okay?
Boba doesn't even punish him for it either, which is kind of a
And I think
weird
this is
Boba moment.
Well, see, I think that we're going to really start getting more of who Boba was, because a lot of the Obi-Wan show, which,
Hey, Boba.
you know, I'm not going to actually talk about it because there's a lot of spoilers that I'm not going to
But
talk about
in
that.
Book of Boba Fett, we're going to see more of
We're going to see more of him. And I think
because
that
we've never explored it.
And I think that we both agreed that the Boba that we think that we know would have just shot the kid. And he doesn't do it. So he gives him the chance,
And
do you want to do
we're
this?
basing it off of teenager Boba that we see in Clone Wars.
Yeah.
Or Rebels.
Both.
Yeah.
Yeah. This idea that the lightsaber doesn't turn on at this point, I'm just going to skip ahead, but I'm going to continue with the recap in a second. When we get to the final show, he then turns his lightsaber into a microphone.
Right.
So there's this transformation of this character who was a Jedi. He was never comfortable with that life. He figures out who he is and where he feels that he needs to be, just like you brought up. We'll talk about the song lyrics in the recap. He figures out that his purpose in this galaxy is being this little rock kid. And he gets rid of his lightsaber.
A Force-sensitive rocker.
Yeah, he gets rid of his lightsaber. Maybe he even suppresses his Jedi powers like Grogu did.
Stupid.
I agree, but you gotta admit that that's a cool take.
You agree this episode is stupid?
Stop. Just tell the people it's grown on you.
I told you, I hate it.
Oh my god! All right, back to the recap. Boba says, you don't want to do this. His lightsaber does not ignite. Boba walks away with Guy. Jay sulks on the ship, explaining why Guy was so important to him. Once again, we get a flashback not explaining his Jedi heritage, but him escaping the Jedi Order through the vessel that is Guy and rock music. Jay runs out of the ship and screams.
Okay.
Now, this is another point that I wanted to talk about specifically about this episode that I think is really noteworthy when it comes to anime. Things that anime do really well is kind of like, and I don't know if this is the right word or if this is a word.
Emoting.
Emoting and hyperbole, right? Like
Yes.
extreme, over the top.
Yeah, you can express in a way that is. I kicked my camera, so tell me if it's good.
Yeah, you're fine.
you can express in a way that's
wouldn't be
in
good
live action would look silly or ridiculous.
cringy.
Cringy is a great word.
Yep, it'd be cringy.
But in anime, it's able to relay 1,000 different emotions or feelings in just like this little thing that you're like, oh, well, this guy's got obnoxiously big angry eyes and an asterisk above his head.
Yep.
Without saying a word, you can feel that emotion.
We can't see shame in real life, but when we get the teardrop in anime, we understand, oh, this is embarrassment, this is shame,
exactly.
Whatever the case may be. The scene where Jay runs out and screams, if we had a live action do this,
it would look stupid.
We would probably hate it.
And you can see, but for him, you could see it's like the frustration, the anger, the everything just exploding out.
Yep. We cut to an amazing emo guitar bridge there, right? The music starts playing, super good. All right, I had to get the guitar because the guitar it's hype.
It sounds like any opening to any anime ever made.
Yeah, dude, it's freaking sick. How much do you hate this episode now?
Uncle Trash.
Dude, it's so good. And you know what? I'll just start talking about it as it's playing in the background a little bit. We have this amazing shot of Boonta Eve.
Yes.
We're back at Tatooine, which, you're usually not a big fan of going back to where we've been, basically.
But I mean, with Hutts involved, it
makes sense.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense, especially having Jabba in particular.
Seeing like the pod racing arena and the Boonta's Eve pod race, and like the a couple of the shots we get in hangars, and there's pod racers in like
literally
racing
in the background.
barracks or something like.
Yeah, they're in the pits, right?
Yeah.
The scene where Qui-Gon is explaining to
they do the chants.
They do the chants.
And all that.
That's
where they were.
That's exactly where they were. So of course we have this amazing animated shot with the emo guitar bridge of Boonta Eve. The band has cut a deal with Jabba to play one more song before the execution of their bass player.
So I thought, without any doubt in my mind.
Yes. I love this. Yeah.
Zero doubt in my mind, because they're like, oh, we're gonna play one last show, and then he reaches down for his lightsaber, and the guards all like have a moment of freak out, and and he's like, oh, relax, it's just a microphone, and he turns it on, and it
makes a lightsaber sound,
and it's a microphone. In my head, immediately I was like, "Oh, he has a plan to escape."
Yeah,
100%. Like I had there, you would have
super Return of the Jedi vibe.
Never ever convinced me that they weren't going to escape in this performance. Like there, zero doubt. Like ship's gonna fly in. There's gonna be something. They have some long like heist style escape that's gonna happen during the song. Where zero. Like you could have never convinced me that was not what was going to happen.
With that being said, I'm already envisioning this song that they're playing, exactly what you're saying. We have them escaping, all this stuff. And I in my head, I love the headcanon. Like, I can see it happening.
Dude, like, there's nothing you could have said that would have made me not think that was going to happen.
How did you feel about the whole final performance thing? I mean, did you like it? Did you not like it? Did it get you hyped?
My first time watching it, I freaking hated it.
I
hated his voice. I hated his singing. I hated his...
Listen, Joseph, we love you, and
I also didn't know who it was at that point.
We truly
hope even more. Like
we truly hope that you come back as Robin.
Be better.
We hope that you come back as Robin,
but
don't sing. don't sing anymore.
I still hold true to that. I don't think he should. He's got the best voice, but now
he
I
doesn't.
Fully love this song. I want this song as my ringtone.
Yes,
this is our new hold music.
Yeah, exactly.
I have been singing it all night. I mean, I still hate this episode.
Let's talk about... So, they start playing their song. The crowd loves it. We love it. Everyone loves it. Right? It's awesome. It's catchy. We start going through kind of like this montage, and here at KonKon's Cantina, we love a good montage. So, let's talk about some of the montage things.
And you know what also we did that we didn't talk about the last episode is we bounced back and forth to Japanese and English.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did not even mention that crap. We got to write that down so that we remember.
Yeah.
So we watched this song we didn't watch the whole episode, but we watched the main song in Japanese and English. And
in Japanese, you're watching an anime. It's the opening sequence
100%.
Or closing sequence of any anime.
I think it sounded
very...
I think the overall episode is better in Japanese, but I think that the song is better in English.
Because I was curious, did they make the English words to rhyme in English? and then the Japanese words would say something entirely different, but it sounds better in Japanese singing. But no, it's the exact same lyrics in English or Japanese. It just sounds and when they do it in Japanese, it's also one of those half weird English sections will break into on a chorus.
Where it's
So
not
anime
translating.
style.
Yeah, it's not translating well. During this montage, we have Jabba is moving his tail to the beat.
He's tail slapping.
He's tail slapping. Boba's also
Tapping his foot.
Bib
Fortuna, ugliest suck-a-sap. The worst / best.
The best.
I want it as a sticker.
Yes.
I need a shirt of that Bib Fortuna.
He's just
shark teething it out. It's so bad. And
he
good
looks
at
like
the
a
same
shark.
time.
Like
He
he has the derp eyes.
Yeah.
Why am I blanking on what he says to
You'll be dead.
you'll be just all that stuff. Anyway, we also have the Jizz Band watching in the
Very
New Hope
angrily.
Cantina. Not happy about it at all.
Your wife's station.
Yeah, in the cantina before we move away, we have the same barkeep.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, we have the same barkeep. This is before The Mandalorian.
It's not the droid.
It's not the droid.
Which also, you want to know something funny?
Uh-huh.
The droid is voiced by none other than
Mark Hamill. Yeah. Come on,
you
bro.
watched Gallery too?
Yeah. You mean on Disney Plus
Yeah.
where we talk about our Star Wars content?
show?
Yeah.
Dang it! I thought I was going to break some news.
You know he's
Also, did you know that
he's in a Rise of
John
Skywalker.
Favreau?
Oh, uh-huh. Who's
the
that?
voice of Paz Vizsla.
Oh, thanks. Appreciate that. Then we have Tashi Station, which that's the little kind of like alcove,
Hut and antenna.
Yeah, the little single building you see. We know that from a deleted scene from A New Hope that was supposed to be Tashi Station. And then after the amazing performance of the last song that they're supposed to play as a band, Jay implores Jabba for them to be the first sponsor.
This is now going to be cut and pasted into every email I send to a possible business partner.
It's a GIF, and it's, do you want to be our first sponsor? Well, can we change it? Because
just sponsor.
Yeah, there you go. You want to be a sponsor of this podcast? We're going to be the most popular podcast in the galaxy. And then the band gets an encore, and they play their second song as the outro of the episode happens.
Last line. This one's for the band. Dumb line.
You loved every second
Just
of
play the
this
song.
episode. Hang on. I got it just for
Get
you.
it, Joseph.
Yeah, he put it out there for everybody.
You look so happy.
Dude, I love it.
It's not the best singer. Oh,
There it is. You know what, man?
I start laughing every time.
I love it, dude.
I hate how much I like it. I freaking hate it. I like it.
It's really catchy, and I would love to know more. And we checked a lot to do with the credits, and we really should. They obviously hired a band for this, and I'd love to know who the actual band is that wrote and composed this to see if they've done anything else like of relevance that we would know.
Yeah.
Just like how we looked up, like the people that made the actual episodes and whatnot, the studios. But
Right.
dude, I mean,
Don't care what side you're on.
I love it.
I'm in.
I'm in. I loved it. There's the Jizz Band looking unhappy.
I like at the end of it, like the punk rock style chanting they do too.
Yeah, we have the encore. It was super awesome. Final thoughts.
So I'm completely honest.
Yeah.
My first time through, hated it. Mm-hmm. My second time through, I was in a better headspace, and you were super hype about it.
I
and
was.
you're like, "Let me tell you why I think it's a good episode."
Yeah.
And I am never too proud to like hear somebody out and listen to it. And
Yeah.
it changed my opinion. 100% did.
Yeah.
I still have things that I didn't care for the most
Oh, it's
about
not
it.
perfect for sure.
But it turned it from me strongly thinking it's like the weakest episode, which between 1 and 2 it is the weakest episode.
it is weaker than 1 for sure. I'd agree.
But I do enjoy it now, and I'm very curious to know where it's going to sit after all 9 have been watched thoroughly.
And
Because I think they're all going to take more than one watch to form a solid final opinion.
and here's a good thing that we came up with the first episode. Do you want this story to continue? Do you want to see more of Jay, Gee, Starwaver?
100% like more regular life people stories to continue.
Yeah.
They don't need to be connected to any military, no political organization, no Jedi, no Sith.
But we had some like crime syndicate, we had like the Hutts.
Yeah, they're almost like...
There was enough Star Wars.
They're almost like... I mean, band guys are always hustlers.
Yeah.
So they're like, call it a smuggler, call it what you want in the Star Wars universe. There's always going to be some of that, like, trying to get your next gig or trying to, like, get famous. Like, I think it would be a super fun thing to pursue. I don't know if we're going to, but I think it would. I'm interested in watching more. Especially if the production value only goes up.
So final thoughts for me. I really enjoyed this anime style. I enjoyed it a little bit more than the first one. Go ahead.
I don't want to cut you off.
No, it's fine.
One of the things that you and I were talking about.
Yeah.
This, so far, I'm into episode 5.
Uh-huh.
This is one of the most polished actual animations and artwork that we've seen. One was totally unique. But after that, it goes to kind of a standard style. And this one was so much more polished and finished looking than some of the other episodes.
And you know what? That's an interesting conversation, too, because I wonder how much money came into play with the runtimes of these episodes. Because if you look at how polished this episode is, I think that the time to money ratio would be shorter on time with money for this polished of type of anime as compared to episode 1 or 3. You see what I'm saying? Like I hope that we actually get a gallery type
breakdown on some of the studios.
On some of the studios of just more explanation on what goes through. So final thoughts for me for this episode. I really love this episode as a musician. I'm clamoring for more stories inside of Star Wars that are not Skywalkers. Stories that are not just this good versus evil. There's so much that is even as somebody, a Star Wars fan, like when I think of who I cosplay as when I Disney bound, it's never a Sith. It's not a Jedi. It's a Mandalorian. It's a smuggler. It's
some
the more of the
guy, yeah.
It's more of the normal people. And I think that there's, I think of like Paul Rudd and Ant-Man. Ant-Man is more of the normal guy on the Avengers, and he's
it's like, I'm part of the Avengers.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. Like and he's still part of the story,
you
right?
haven't seen What If, so you don't know what I'm referencing.
No, I don't. Yeah, I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that episode yet. But
like, all the Avengers are dead. He's like, I'm one of the Avengers.
I'm one of the. Okay, that's pretty funny. And that's what. Look at us.
We're doing it.
Who would have thought?
Who'd have thought?
Not me. I absolutely love this episode. Not perfect still. A rating for me is it's a 7 out of 10. If I had to give it a rating, do I want to see the story continue? 100%. I want a full-fledged manga. I would watch a 10-episode season of them either getting to the point that we are now, and that's the end of season 1, or this is where season 1 begins,
and they're then under Jabba's thumb the whole time.
And then in season 2, we have a flashback of who he was as a Jedi, whatever the case may be.
That could be a cool show.
Because everyone's going to be like, oh my gosh, who's this kid? People are going to focus on the fact that he was a Jedi, and I personally think that the fact that he converted his lightsaber to a microphone shows the fact that he's done and he's over it.
Well, that's the whole, like, the lyrics of the song, like, be true to yourself, be yourself.
Yep.
And like, going along with
free.
The whole scene that we were talking about previously, where he screams and then the clouds kind of part, and then he gets his resolve of what he's going to do.
Yeah.
And then you get this song, and that's the whole thing. And the microphone, the sabers turn into a microphone.
Yep.
He's made his choice where, like, this is him and this is what he's going to do. And then it goes along with the lyrics perfectly.
And it's cool too, and I mean, it's a lot of deep thought for just a 13-minute episode.
It really is, and like, that's what you brought out, that I was just in a crappy mood that I just looked past, and it was like bright and shiny animation, and it felt like a kid's show. Yeah. I was in a crappy mood, but when you brought out a lot of that other stuff, I was like, okay, I do see all of these points, and it did make it a lot better for me.
And that's what
give it a rewatch if you didn't like it.
Yeah, and that's what I look for in movies now, because everything is just a fire hydrant of CGI. Everything that we watch,
or remaking a movie that's already been made.
There is hardly anything original anymore. And what you really have to look for is the undertones and the storytelling and building blocks in character development.
Things that aren't said out loud that you have to pick up on.
And even if you think more about, once again, a 13-minute episode, this was the song that they were going to go out on, right? This is the last song that they would ever play as a band, and they chose the song that they chose, the song that we hear. So this is the song that's most important to the characters, whoever chose it. And so there's more to like, man, this song is important to them, so it should be important to me. Because the writers chose this song for the... You see what I'm saying? Like, there's so much more to, this was just an anime. But, some people just like to sit and be entertained.
I can 100% see why somebody would not care for this episode.
I also, yeah, I get it.
And I'm never... Like, I was that person, but giving it a second watch and a second look and trying to put my personal opinion aside and listen to somebody else, it made me like the episode. It's still not my favorite. It's still one of the, I would call, middle of the road episodes. I'm into 5 so far. It's not my favorite. It's not my least favorite. It's kind of middle of the road. I would give it more. You said a 7. I give it more of a 6. But it has the possibility to be like an awesome story to continue that would get better and better.
Yeah, and I sincerely hope that the story continues.
Well, until next week, you will be
and
singing this.
Our outro music.
This is gonna be. We need to make some bumpers out of this.
Yeah, we gotta. Guys, I was your boy. It's
Disney
KonKon.
Plus. Can we have the rights to this song?
Yeah, please. Just give it to us. I was your boy. It's KonKon. Sitting across from me, as always, Jay Breezy.
Bionic arms.
And guys, don't forget, hit us up on all social media, Instagram, Facebook, everything. Discord is still popping. We're talking about Vision spoilers in there. And we hope that you enjoyed this, guys. And we will catch you next time.
See ya.